Hello, and welcome back to the King of Diamonds channel. Today, we're going to be reviewing an interesting movie. One that has been highly anticipated by many people. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I'm a fan of the series, I suppose, the video games, and I was excited when the original first came out. Though I'm not really big into the lore, not because I don't like it, I never really dived into it, so I don't know a whole lot about it. And I guess when I watched the original and everyone was really angry because apparently it didn't follow the lore very well, I was sort of confused because I didn't know the lore and I wasn't really bothered about that. I had my own problems with the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I didn't dislike it or anything. I don't mind it. I think it's okay. I don't love it, and I kind of wanted to love it because I just really enjoyed the video games. Specifically, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 actually happens to be my favorite of the video games. And so because of that, I was very, very excited for this one because the second video game is my favorite, and I heard that apparently it will be mostly based off of that second one. So, was it good?
Five Nights at Freddy's, that's where I wanna be. Five Nights at
Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was created and produced by Blumhouse Productions. It is a mascot horror drama film starring Josh Hutcherson, Elizabeth Lail, McKenna Grace, Skeet Ulrich, Piper Rubio, Megan Fox, Matthew Lillard, Tio Briones, Freddie Carter, Wayne Knight, Matt Pat, Theodis Crane, and Kellen Goff. And of course, Corey Kenshin. Oh, how we love Corey Kenshin on the King of Diamonds channel. Basically, the plot of this film is that after the events of the original movie, Abby has just heard that the animatronics are still alive and well, and she gets a message from them telling her to go help them. So she does so, but it turns out that the animatronics are no longer themselves anymore and are in fact in control of a mysterious bad guy. And so they attack the town, and it's the job of Mike, Vanessa, and Abby to stop the oncoming threat. I'd like to start off with some of the positives of this movie. For starters, there's a character by the name of the Marionette. If you play the games, you know who the Marionette is. I was intrigued by the character, and when I saw the design of the Marionette and when it possesses people, basically, oh my goodness. The makeup and the effects for it are just very good. I think that's probably my favorite part. And one of the complaints that the original got was that it wasn't scary enough. So going into this one, I was told that apparently they made it a little more scary. It is definitely more scary. The Marionette character just steals the show every time it's on screen. It is so creepy. It is very, very creepy. And it really scared me in moments because I'm not used to horror. Maybe people don't find it scary, but I definitely found it scary. Once again, Josh Hutcherson and Elizabeth Lail are doing a good job in this movie acting. One of the things I did appreciate about the first one, whilst it had its tonal issues, the acting was still pretty decent from those two actors, and I can appreciate that enough, especially here. Yes, this movie is more tonally consistent than the first one, but it does still have its issues, and whilst yes, the animatronics look great, and the effects and the sets look great, just in general, this is a good looking movie, and I felt myself being brought into this world and thinking, oh, this is really cool. But there's one thing that always bothered me about it, and still bothers me a little bit about the first one, but more bothered me here than it did before. Because of my lack of knowledge on the lore, I guess I felt a little bit excluded in moments. Well, not moments, a lot of it actually. Generally just the fact that, oh, this is meant to be a really important thing, and they're not really telling me a lot about it because they're assuming I already know a lot about that thing because I must have already watched the MatPat videos or played all the video games, and so they're not going to waste their time explaining it to someone if they don't already know a lot about it. I think that's a bit of an issue. For example, now this is a little bit of a spoiler. It's not a big spoiler because it does happen in the very first scene in the movie, but I'll just let you know in case you don't want to have that spoiled for you. Go away. Alright. In the very first scene, there's a little girl and she's running around and she's telling all these parents that a boy has been kidnapped. A boy has been kidnapped and has been taken away by Matthew Lillard's character. Now, of course, she is saying, help, 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 and then all these parents don't help her. All the parents don't help her, no matter what. And I thought, for a start, this is a quick side rant, that was really weird, wasn't it? It felt a little bit forced, don't you think? That not a single parent, not one parent, here's a kid saying at some creepy restaurant, somebody kidnapped a child. And you're supposed to tell me that not a single parent, at least even, I don't know, took even a moment to just consider that maybe the kid was telling the truth. No, they just say, no, the parents are talking, could you please go now, little girl? So that was weird. But back to what I was trying to say, the girl goes after the boy, she saves the boy, but she gets stabbed in the process, and then she's on this pedestal in front of the whole restaurant with stab wounds in her back, and she screams and she drops to the floor, dying. And then roll the opening credits. All right. Seems like a great opening, right? Really cool, interesting, gets your blood pumping, you're like, oh, what's gonna happen next? What happened? And then they just like plaster newspapers all over the screen saying, oh, deemed as accident. It was decided that it was an accident that she got stabbed in a pizzeria. Wouldn't you think that the cops would interrogate some of the parents and find out that this little girl had previously said someone was kidnapped, and maybe that perhaps would draw to the conclusion that maybe this kid was attacked by said kidnapper? And I thought, oh, okay, maybe they'll bring it back up later on, and we'll understand it. It'll come around, and yes, the topic comes back around, but they don't really explain to us why the cops thought it was an accident. I mean, it's meant to be this big deal. It's very relevant. What happened is very relevant to the story, and they don't really explain that. I don't know. Kind of disappointing. And there's, little nitpicks I could go into, like in a dream sequence where Matthew Lillard is just like falling like this he's falling down a balcony, and it goes in slow motion, and it's him going, I'm sorry, I feel really mean right now. I really wanted this movie to be very good, and I'm not saying it's bad, because it's not. Here's the thing. First one is totally inconsistent, but I didn't dislike it. I enjoyed it for the most part, and for what it is, I can appreciate it. But I wanted more, I expected more. But I grew to be okay with the fact that it wasn't what I wanted it to be. But then I kind of let myself get excited, not only for this one, but more excited for this one than I was with the original. And thinking, oh, this is gonna be really good. Especially because I heard rumors that it was way, way, way better than the first one, and they improved everything. And yes, they fixed a lot of the problems. They fixed a lot of the problems from the first one, but they also created new problems as well. The final thing I want to mention is it ends on a cliffhanger. So at times I feel like, well, they made all these extra things that I could deem as problems right now, like for instance the police thing. But then again, this feels like a part one in a part one, part two story. It feels like I have an incomplete story. So whilst I could judge it very harshly on those things and those inconsistencies or those things that they don't bring up enough, this story is not finished. It's very obviously going somewhere. Whether that's good or bad, it doesn't matter, it is going somewhere. So whether I'm satisfied with how they wrap everything up, I should at least give it a chance to fully get lay all of its cards out on the table before I start jabbing at it. So yes, I will give this movie a score, but I want to let you know that this score is flexible and I could change it later on. And if my mind has changed by the time we get to the third one, and I think, oh, they fixed those things, then I want to let you know I will, in that video, change my score for this one as well. But for now, Until they prove me otherwise, which they could, I'm gonna have to give Five Nights at Freddy's roughly a 6.5 out of 10. I still enjoyed a lot of aspects to it, I really did. And honestly, I enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed the original, all things considered. It's just that all those things they fixed from the first one, they just created new things that now the third one's gonna have to fix. So it is sad that they couldn't really keep it all together, but you know, we'll see what happens in the third one, and I could be very, very wrong. But yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is a movie, and it does exist, and you can watch it. Anyway, bye!